Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about some of the great courses available on Audible's Plus catalog, mainly because I really enjoy listening to great course lectures. I also like that there is a ton available with my Audible subscription. The first great course I want to talk about is The History of Sugar with Kelly Dietz. I found this great course fascinating. It is an interesting look at sugar from its origins to modern day. One major warning is that this course centers some of its lectures on slavery and the slave trade, which sugar played a pivotal role in. When looking over some of the reviews for this great course, a lot of listeners were upset by the emphasis on slavery. This did not bother me, but it seems to have angered or taken other listeners by surprise. As for Kelly Dietz, she is easy to listen to and has pretty good enunciation. I really enjoyed this course. It was a quick listen. Both Medical Mysteries Across History and Medical Mysteries Volume 2 take the same approach to telling different historical figures medical mysteries. The listener is a sleuth trying to figure out who the historical figure is and what their prognosis is. Both these great courses are captivating listens. Both lectures are over before you want them to end. Lecturer Roy Benarock, MD, does an excellent job telling a compelling story and teaching his audience. I thoroughly enjoyed sleuthing through history and testing my medical knowledge. The next great course I want to talk about is The Mysterious Case of Agatha Christie with Maureen Corrigan. Firstly, I love Agatha Christie. Her mysteries are timeless. However, I did not know much about Agatha Christie herself. This lecture series does a great job of telling Agatha's story, a story of a writer, mother, wife, daughter, and world traveler. Some of my critiques of this lecture series is that there seems to be a little confusion with some of the names. It also reveals who some of the perpetrators are in some of Agatha Christie's novels. Lecturer Maureen Corrigan is easy to listen to and does a great job telling Agatha's life story. This was a fun listen and allowed me to get to know more about one of my favorite writers. Cultured, The Epic Story of Cheese with Janet Fletcher is another lecture series that is focused on one of my great loves, cheese. Janet Fletcher is known for being a highly enthusiastic lover of cheese. She is also extremely knowledgeable. Personally, I really enjoyed this lecture series. It made me excited to try different cheeses and to learn more about the cheese making process. 10 Women Who Ruled the Renaissance focuses on the stories of some of the most well-known Renaissance female historical figures, like Queen Elizabeth I, as well as some that are not so well known, like Agnes Waterhouse and Ma Shaozun. These are stories of women who broke from traditional female roles and went down in history. I really enjoy learning about women in history and their contributions to some of the greatest civilizations. Joyce Salisbury is a wonderful narrator and does a great job with this lecture series. Powerful Women Who Ruled the Ancient World brings stories together from all over the ancient world, some of which that were attempted to be erased from history. This lecture series includes women from Egypt, Samaria, Israel, Greece, and China. They range from famous historical figures such as Cleopatra to ones who are less famous, like Empress Lu from China. This is another wonderful lecture series from Karakuni. Powerful Women of the Medieval World with Dorsey Armstrong. I want to start off by talking about how incredible Dr. Dorsey Armstrong is. She is wicked smart and a great lecturer. Her lectures are always full of quality information and even gives you a few laughs. For me, this lecture series is worth the listen if just to learn about Olga of Kiev. Olga's story is brutal and bloody, but also tells the story of a very smart woman. Olga is just one of the exemplary women included in this lecture series. This series also brings the stories of Joan of Arc, Empress Theodora, Eleanor of Aquitaine, the Mongolian women who surrounded Genghis Khan, and so many more incredible women to the forefront. This one for me was a 10 out of 10. Definitely worth the listen. The second to the last great course I want to talk about in this video is A History of Video Games with Jeremy Parrish. Jeremy Parrish does a good job of bringing the history of video games to this lecture series. This is a mixture of knowledge and nostalgia. It goes through the major milestones of the video game industry. This follows the development from the war rooms to modern day games. One of the things that rang true with this lecture series was the amount of nostalgia it creates with the exploration of popular video game series like Mario Brothers, Pac-Man, and Pokemon. If anything, it made me want to play these games. My major con is that it is very short. I also think a volume 2 is needed, or at least a more in-depth history. The Black Death, the World's Most Devastating Plague by Professor Dorsey Armstrong is not available on Audible's Plus catalog. It is available for a credit or the price of the lecture series. I included this because it is a great course I truly loved. During these 24 lectures, Professor Armstrong definitely takes you on a journey as the Black Death spreads throughout the medieval world. Her use of poetry and medieval literature adds another level to this course. The listener not only feels the true devastation that the Black Death brought, but is deeply immersed in topics such as medieval medicine, art, culture, and the differing approaches different societies took when it came to the plague. Armstrong is an outstanding lecturer. She is engaging and intelligent. This is one I highly recommend, and this is why I made it a bonus on my video.